If you want it chopped off, just take it to the woods. Hello, huge movie fanatic Nate, stopping on by. This time I'm coming at you to do another one of my VHS showcasing videos. Today I'm coming at you to showcase the original North American VHS release of Don't Go in the Woods, a must-see slasher from the early 80s. And this particular VHS says, copyright 1982, James Bryan Films, package design and summary, copyright 1983, Vestron Incorporated, all rights reserved, rated R. So I first saw Don't Go in the Woods at the tender age of 14 when the movie was basically 9 or 10 years old at the time, and this was the VHS, not this one that I'm holding here, but a VHS identical to this was obviously the VHS that I rented to watch the movie. And once I saw Don't Go in the Woods, life was never the same. I don't think I recorded it necessarily at the time, but I was kind of a fan of aspects of the movie as a 14-year-old, and of course this movie would go on to have a special place in my heart, and I'd end up at some point obviously with this Vestron video VHS former rental copy, and I'd end up getting the first DVD that came out, Code Red, and of course the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray and stuff like that. But this is where it all started in North America, your Vestron video VHS of Don't Go in the Woods. Looking closer at the cover, we've got, I think the poster actually had the surrounding area that surrounded the painting, I think was yellow or white or something. Incidentally, I think it looks better on this Vestron video VHS cover, where you've got the surrounding color surrounding the painting of death going on in the woods here being black. I think that looks better than the white or yellow or however it is originally on the original poster. I've always, ever since I was 14, I've always loved this cover, which is basically taken from the original poster for Don't Go in the Woods. Just a painting of just like, the woods at dusk. God, this makes me want to actually watch a movie. I might do that tonight. Just the woods at dusk, hills, this tent, someone got a campfire out there, he's a dead corpse, hanging outside the tent, we got a backpack, and this image here of this lady is basically more or less playing off that character, I think, in the movie, who's like a painter and has her baby bouncing in the little baby bouncing thing, and I think she's painting scenery or whatever, and ends up getting killed by the killer. But I think that's basically, this woman here with the sunglasses, and you can see the killer in the reflection, is basically based off that character in the movie who's painting with the bouncing baby and ends up being slaughtered. And we never know what ends up happening to that baby, but at any rate, I love the knife that's stabbed into this piece of wood here that the title's featured on, Don't Go in the Woods. And as we now know, I didn't know at the time, but now know of the DVD and the Blu-ray release, this little blood splotch here actually featured the word alone in it. I think the original title was Don't Go in the Woods Alone. I prefer Don't Go in the Woods. After all, when you watch the movie, it doesn't say Don't Go in the Woods Alone as the title. It just says Don't Go in the Woods. So the little bloody splotch here, I guess originally when they made the poster, also featured the word alone there with an exclamation point. But going down to the bottom of the VHS cover, we've got the title and the credits, of course, and it's funny how that one character's name isn't circled on a box here like it is in the movie, which she probably was pissed about. Looking at the right spine, we've got Vestron Video, early 80s logo there. Looks like a sticker was once there and has since been removed. I love this just red on black here. Don't Go in the Woods. Fucking awesome. VHS, we've got the letter number combo VA3017 there. And looking at the left spine, we basically have a very similar situation here. I think the right spine is in better condition. Looks like there's, I don't know, some wear and tear, a little more on this side than the other side, but I do love that. Also looks like part of the title here, maybe the Don't Go In, looks to be maybe a little more faded than the woods aspect of it. So I love that red on black that they used for the frickin' spines on this VHS. Top of the VHS looks like that. Once again, the wonderful red on black. Very simple yet effective. Taking a look at the back of the VHS, just like with so many of the early 80s Vestron video VHS releases. We've got one image that basically just takes up the, I don't know, the 1/3 of the back of the VHS here, basically just a frame grab for the movie that features our four main campers here, Mary Gale Arts and whoever else here is featured on. Angie Brown, I think, is the chick with the box around her name in the opening credits in the actual movie. But as we can see here, panning down the artwork, everyone has nightmares about the ugliest way to die. And I think just for fun, I'll read this for you. Sheer horror and sublime suspense combine in this horrifying tale of the fate of four young campers out for a relaxing weekend in the wilderness. Craig, Peter, Ingrid, and is that Joni? Set out on their carefree journey by the light of day, but as the forest becomes denser, darkness closes in around them. They begin to realize they are lost when suddenly a form rushes from the trees. A machete glints in the failing light. That's pretty good. And Craig falls dead. The others flee in panic and spend a horrifying night running and hiding from the bloodthirsty, maniacal killer. But it is Peter who suffers the most, protecting the women. He has witnessed the most blood-splattering rampage he could ever imagine. And soon he is like an animal himself, loose on a mindless hunt for revenge. A terrifying spectacle that will teach you an important lesson in survival. Don't go in the woods. Then of course we've got what we've already seen here, package time approximately 88 minutes, and the rest that I've already shown you guys. I love these black bands at the bottom of these early 80s Vestron VHSs with the legal information here and the early 80s Vestron video logo. Classic stuff. Sliding the tape out, we've got the early 80s very simple kind of grayish Vestron video label with kind of a faded Vestron video logo. I kind of actually like that red and white line there. And then Don't Go in the Woods, very simple, 88 minutes, copyright 1982, James Bryan Films. So I hope you guys enjoyed the showcasing of Don't Go in the Woods, what's probably the original North American VHS release of this epic. I must say the back, you know, the back spiel on the little synopsis on the back of the VHS definitely makes the movie seem a lot better than it is. If you haven't seen this movie, it's a schlock. Kind of regarded as a schlock quote-unquote masterpiece, one of the best bad movies ever made, but it's got, you know, for all its faults, it does have very beautiful outdoor woods scenery going on and stuff like that, and very awful music and very awful acting and very awful dialogue and very awful pretty much everything else. But it's a movie of mine that I discovered 30 years ago this year that that's held a special place in my heart ever since seeing it, and continues to do so. Thank you very much for watching this video, and as always, we'll catch you on the next one.